what are the strategies for promoting mental health for women? And especially, I would want to hear from you, Nguka, in terms of also just how men can be able to support their women's mental health, because that's also important. You know, like we said, we have sisters, we have wives, daughters, etc. And we are living among them. And you know, I have really been following what the streets of Twitter, they like saying fear women, and it's like you're fearing us, but you still have to live with us, you know. You cannot really get rid of your mom just because you fear women. You cannot get rid of your wife. So what is it? Instead of fearing and running away and avoiding them, what are the things that men can be able to do to just support them as well? And also just to be empowered.
The inner journey is
Hmm.
really the place to start at. Um, and the inner journey will lead you to have what we call self mastery. Because while men have been termed to be the perpetrators, if we broke you, we know the right people who can fix you, right? So for me, it is the individual person, it is the individual woman that should begin the inner journey. And to some, they may not know, they may not know that this is what is affecting me. They may feel, it is what the society wants them to be. It is what they are used to. There's that moment when you get used to something until it becomes a norm and until it becomes kind of normal to you. So until you know, then you shone or you light up those dark places in your life. You bring light to those places by being intentional about those places, by working on those places. It could be the inner child, it could be the childhood traumas, it could be something, it could be your relationships, it could be your work, it could be, your predisposition to stress in terms of work. It is okay to slow down in a very high paced society
Hmm.
and take rest and look at your life. You don't have to be like everyone. You have your own path, own it, work towards it, and move at your pace. So for me, it begins with the individual person, and I believe that we have immeasurable strength, both women and men alike, and we can sort anything that is brought to us. And I love using, or I love quoting the good old book, the Bible, that it says that, um, there's a verse that speaks of temptations and the luggage that we're given. We're told that you can't be tempted by something that you can't overcome. It's the same thing in life. Life can't throw, at you baggage or luggage or things that you can't. Will say that I can't. It is just for a short while that you'll say you can't, but you don't know until you try, you know. So for me, at that personal level, I'll also ask that woman out there to find the whole truth as opposed to the version of truth. When you talk about society, when you talk about the structural and social injustices, when you talk about coming to Coach Mary and saying, I have been dating this Nazist person, find out what is the whole truth and find out how responsible you are. Sometimes we always want to be the victim, and until we shown the truth and we find out the full version and the real, there can't be different versions of the truth. The truth has to be one. If there are different versions, then probably that is not the truth. So don't try to find versions of that truth. Find the truth on your path, on your journey, then you know get to that level of highest level of awareness of yourself, self mastery, self worth, and validate yourself every morning. Tell yourself that you're beautiful, you are strong, you can do this. And there's no better way to do this by starting out, finding help. One tag that I used in Maisha Consultancy is that we are all on a journey. We are all climbing a mountain. The mountain is called life. And like a good climbing, like a good mountain climber, you require a climbing partner, a guide who will guide you through that mountain. So why try doing it alone? Why try conquering this great mountain called your life alone? While you have Marianne, you have Mary, you have therapists, you have coaches, you have psychologists, you have all these mental health advocates, you have all these people whom our parents really, or the older generation, didn't have. This was something that was not in our society back then, and it's slowly becoming accepted, and we have many number of them. So why do you want to do it alone? That's the next thing. Get to understand that you have the strength to do it, but now look for somebody who will hold you accountable, who will hold your hand, who will work with you, and support you in that. Now on the next, to men, I think men can play a great role by also being the agitators, or being the advocates of safe spaces, right? Or being the advocates of equity, right? While equality is about having same opportunities, having same strengths, having everything that one has, and also talking of the biological makeshift, as you've said, we can't be equal, but equity is about bringing people to the same, holding people to the same standards, and bringing someone who's down up, so that we can now compete, or we can coexist on the same level, have same opportunities, have same structures, systems in our different places of influence. And kwa Kiswahili naweza sema ni miundo misingi, kuweka miundo misingi yenye itafanya watu wakue. For example, if someone is at this level and the other one is at this level, trying to bring this one so that they can be at par, and giving them equal opportunities at the same level. So men can play a great role in that. Men can speak, to evil. We can't only say that this is only a women affair, who are crying because sick, or etc. But it's try to understand, because if women and men could understand each other fully, respect each other, and love each other, then we could have this problem. This problem could be solved, right? This problem of equity, equality, and this problem of men being the perpetrators. The other thing that you've also asked, Marianne, is about fear women. It is a narrative that is out there, but the problem is that it is generalized, right? We maybe have at one point dated a woman whom, to our dismay, they need to be feared, maybe subject to the experiences that we had with them. But that doesn't mean that it is every woman who has the same behavior, or it's every woman who should be feared, right? There are also men who should be feared. It's the same. I think it's the same narrative where men are supposed to be dogs and women are supposed to be feared. After God, you're supposed to fear women because you're never sure with them. But I think it is a matter of generalization. Which woman should be feared? Is it your mother? Is it your sister? Is it your friend? And what did they do? And why should we fear them? So it is for me, I think it is a matter of generalization. A wide topic. It's a topic that can talk about what are these things that you've not healed in you, that every time you look at a woman, that's a red flag, or it reminds you of that thing that women are supposed to be feared. So for me, I think that's the way to go. Yeah.
So yeah, definitely that is a generalization, maybe in terms of our experiences. And I like the fact that you brought out the issue of self mastery, working on ourselves and healing ourselves, because that is now when you're able to do that, then nobody can do the work for you. I usually tell my clients, if you come to the therapy room and you're having relationship issues, or your boss did what at work, you're the one in the therapy room, not them. So they're not really going to be the one to change, but it is you who is going to change, and also just see how you can be able to adapt to the environment, because we are not really saying that now, because we are handling our mental health issues, that we will never have these issues again. We will have them, but at least if we are more empowered, we are able to deal with them in the right way. Over to you, Coach Mary. What else can you do? Maybe add.
Okay. First of all, I'll echo what both of you have shared. And actually, the very interesting thing is that the tagline of my YouTube channel is transforming self-sabotage into self-mastery. And again, I'll say the same thing as Nguka coach said, and also you, Marianne, that it begins with the self. Personal development is something that I have been passionate about and trying to quote unquote preach to people for quite a number of years. It's because of the realization that I'm only responsible for my own change as a person. And when people come to me, even with relationship issues, I always tell them, you're only responsible for yourself, for your change. You cannot change another human being, because normally the narrative is so and so does this, so and so did this, so and so does this is how it affects me, and that it's always the other person. And as you shared, Marianne, you always say you are the one who is here in the room. You're the one who has come for therapy. And so we'll focus on you because you're only responsible for you. So whatever it takes, Nguka mentioned about what I would like to call affirmations. Those are tools that you can just use, very easy to use. But maybe I can just explain how affirmations work. And this is something I also do in my programs. A lot of people assume that affirmations are wishful thinking. And you think that by repeating to myself every morning, I'm beautiful, I am intelligent, I am lovable, I am worthy, I am enough, you think that it's wishful thinking. The more I say it to myself, it sounds weird. And honestly, once you start doing affirmations, it feels like you are playing games with yourself. But there's an exercise that I give some of my clients, and it's called the mirror exercise. We probably even did it in our training in school when we were studying to become psychologists. However, the use of affirmations helps to get to your subconscious mind. You see, the thing with the brain is that your brain doesn't have the ability to know truth from false. Whatever you tell your brain or your mind, it takes it as gospel truth. And that is why people have the capacity to be brainwashed, because whatever they are told, and it's done repeatedly, because the key to rewiring your brain is repetition. So if you've grown up being told you're stupid, you're stupid, you're stupid every day, you'll amount to nothing, you grow up believing that, because the key to whatever programming has been put in your mind, it's because it's been repeated over and over again. So if you wake up every morning and affirm yourself that, especially maybe you're in a season where you're struggling with low self-esteem or confidence, and you tell yourself, I am beautiful, whatever I set up to do, I can accomplish, I am capable of speaking in front of people. Even the world's most renowned motivational speakers affirm themselves even before they go in front of the audience. You might think it comes naturally to speak in front of thousands of people, but it's because they have embraced the power of affirming themselves. So that is just one tool that works miracles, honestly, because we are not miracle workers as psychologists. There's nothing, we don't have a magic wand that we spin and your life becomes better. You have to be willing to put in the work. So if it means waking up every morning, looking at the mirror and saying those affirmations, whether you Googled them or you came up with them yourself based on the season that you're in, it works. That's all I can say, because it's been proven to work. Secondly, as Nguka and Miriam shared, invest in yourself. Investing in yourself is one investment that you make that you will never regret. The same way we pay so much money to go to school, to gain knowledge, to gain information, invest in yourself. Sometimes it's not even monetary. We have podcasts that we can listen to that talk about so many areas of our lives that we need to work on. We have books that we can read. Now we have PDF format. We have, some you can download. You can buy the books on the streets if you can't afford to buy them in the uh, bookstores. Like, we have so much information available for us that any other time in history that we could use to become better, to heal ourselves. We have the therapists at disposal. I think we have so many psychologists, and it's so unfortunate that our profession is still at a stage where it's not as appreciated as a doctor's profession, because again, mental health is, the word here is health. It's health. And so most people think that when I'm sick, I'll rush to a doctor. I don't care how much they are charging for consultation. Even if it's 6,000, I will pay just to have them talk to me for like 10 minutes. A therapist is probably charging you less than that, and is there for you, with you for an hour, and not rushing you because they have a line of patients. Next. And so some of the illnesses that we also go through are lifestyle illnesses, stress-related illnesses, that we are going to spend so much money in the hospitals, yet we could have just gotten a therapist, and, it would have saved us a lot of trouble. And of course, some of us even experience what we call the psychosomatic illnesses, in Kiswahili, hapana pale syndrome, that it's neither here nor there, that we are sick, but we are sick and we are undiagnosable just because maybe we need someone to talk to. And even if you can't afford all those things that I have said, talk to someone, talk to a friend, someone you trust, a pastor, something, someone you trust. Because I feel like in this journey, the inner healing journey that Nguka brought out, is that we really have to take responsibility for ourselves, our own healing, and then strive for authenticity. That's my last point. Strive for authenticity. In a world of fake it till you make it, it's important for us to really strive to be authentic and to show up as our real selves, and not whatever we think we should be. Because again, society has given us a stereotype of who we should be, especially as women. There's the blueprint, but if you strive to be authentic, to show up every day as yourself, I believe you'll have more peace and find life more bearable than showing up as someone who you're not. And let's not forget self-care. Self-care, it just popped into my head because self-care is so important. If any of you enroll for my program, we'll talk about it in details. But honestly, self-care is important, and it's not the self-care that is being preached out there. I believe it's taking care of ourselves from the in out, inward, outward, in, out. Yeah. So basically, yeah, I think those are my points. Thank you.
I actually wanted to bring out that aspect of self-care, so thanks for
Yeah.
that. Because like we are saying, we need to take care of ourselves, and and also, like I had mentioned, if you do not love yourself, if you don't take care of yourself, then who is going to do it? And even if they'll do it, it will never be enough. You'll be left looking for more. So that is very important to have brought up. And also the issue of seeking for help. A lot of us, even growing up, sometimes with maybe like the parents that we have, you learn to not even express yourself, you learn to not express your needs. But we are really trying to work on this in terms of revolutionizing it into knowing that our needs are important. If you need to be listened to, if you need to be heard, if you need to be supported, you really need to talk about it, because even a lot of us women, we like, maybe we have problems and then we're like, nothing is wrong, because I feel like maybe I am being too much or you'll not even understand me. But we really need to also learn how to express ourselves so that we are able to be supported. Now we have come to the end of the discussion, and definitely we are going to talk about the different programs that the coaches are offering, so that we can be able to see if we are going to do that, because I believe that this has really been impactful. And I always love having the speakers, because I also get to learn, because also as a psychologist I don't really know it all, and people have different experiences. And that being said, I wanted us to now get the questions, if there are any, and also maybe comments from the audience. We have been speaking a lot, and we want to know that you are with us. So maybe even feedback in terms of what is it that really stood out for you. We can raise our hands, and then I'm going to give you the opportunity. And if you can't be able to speak, you can also write it in the comments. I've noticed something very strange. A lot of people are named Marianne, so I noticed it's because I sent out a link in my email. I'm wondering, Marianne joined. Who is this Marianne again? So it's because I shared out my link. So I can see Lily. You can unmute yourself and ask.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for this session. I needed it because I'm currently facing some issue. I've learned 1, 2, and I'm really grateful. Sasa, I don't know if is it possible maybe to just talk to that guy, and the guy who spoke, just, I don't know if it's allowed, because I need just to talk to someone, maybe private, like on the side. I don't know if that's possible, because I really need to talk to someone. I feel like I am losing it, kinda. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to share contacts as we finish up on how you can be able to reach them individually. All right, I see Maura Ngoge. Mr. Gregory.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, thank you so much. I am happy to be part of this particular conversation. I'm one person who believes in the people, because nobody write an application to be born when they were born. We only found ourselves in this particular gender, and us is to find the configuration that works for us as individuals, and also assist others to find the same form. And I want to commend the presenters. I think for me, this is one of the conversations that I have appreciated so much. Very balanced, i.e., I have found a conversation about men and women where we are setting each other against each other. Men have this, women have this. No. I think for me, guys, kudos, Marianne and Nguka, I want to congratulate you, because it's a high time we tell every gender, find your own configuration that works for you, because we have differences. It's only when I find myself that I will create space for the other. But if I don't find myself, I'll be driven by fear. I'll driven by need for dominance. But however, when I find myself, I think for me, the world will actually, I'll find a configuration that works for me. And also I'll allow the other person to be. It doesn't matter who you are. And I'm happy with the world that we are going to. It's about competence. It's not about gender. It's not about creed. It's not about which family you're coming from. No, it's about the skills and the competences that we have. So as individuals, let's pursue personal development. Let's agree to get the version of ourselves that really work for ourselves. And sky is the limit for me, because I tell people I sat in primary, nursery, in my college, in my university with the other gender. So for me, I don't think I have this demeanor of either is bigger than the other. No, for me, find your own configuration that works for you. And possibly every conversation I will be in amongst men, I'll always defend women. You know, I have a daughter, I have a lovely mother, I have a lovely wife, and I have a lovely sister. So any conversation I'll be in about, if you don't comment something positive about women, kindly don't, because I'll not be part of it. Also, I expect also on the other side, whenever somebody is commenting something negative about men, you know, they're not here to defend themselves. Possibly I have a son, I'm married, and I have a father. So I guess for me, as a society, if we can embrace such kind of attitude, we'll actually be doing ourselves a lot of justice, because for me, it's a world that we need each other to complement and to cooperate, and to a great extent compromise, because we have different levels of power. And I think for me, I appreciate Marianne. Thank you for organizing this. Thank you, Mary Mwangi, for good presentation. Nguka, thank you so much. I think I rest my case there. And to every lady, including the one in front of me, my wife, happy Women's Day.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for echoing the words and also just for stamping. He was our presenter for the last webinar, so it's good to see you back. And also just, I loved how he brought out the issue that if I am in the midst of people and they are talking about, badly about women, I'm going to defend them, because that is ideally how men can be able to support women's mental health. If you see someone who is talking something that is not really constructive, or the societal factors that we keep talking about that are contributing to these issues, then it is really important to be able to speak out. So I've seen a question for you, Mary. It's asking you to clarify on self-sabotage to self-mastery.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna define it because it's a whole topic on its own. I'm just going to define what self-sabotage is and what self-mastery is. It's something that we do consciously or unconsciously. So self-sabotage is when you do or don't do things that block you or prevent you from either succeeding in life or accomplishing goals that you've set for yourself. So you'll find sometimes you can self-sabotage your relationships as well, especially when a relationship is going so well, you'll either do something or not do something to end it, and sometimes it's unconscious. Most of the time, self-sabotage is, can I say it's more of like a coping mechanism based on an unhealed trauma that you probably went through. And then self-mastery is very simple. It's just a conscious control of your behavior or of yourself, being in charge of yourself. And it's conscious, it's a decision. You decide that from now henceforth, I will put in the work that will help me to stop self-sabotaging myself. A lot of people who self-sabotage are not aware that they do that. And I'll probably like leave my YouTube channel there so that even they can follow, because I talk a lot about that. That's the slogan, transforming self-sabotage into self-mastery. It's still a pretty new channel, but I believe that with time, a lot of all these questions would be answered. I hope that helps. And I've seen another one. Probably let me just address it. Where is it?
Maybe I actually wanted to ask maybe Coach Nguka to do it, since I can't see any more questions.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, Nguka, they're asking how to beat procrastination when it comes to personal development.
Thank you. Great questions there. Just before I jump into procrastination, I'll also just echo on self-sabotage that Coach Mary has tried to shed light on. The other difference is that self-sabotage is getting in your own way, telling yourself all those versions of the stories of what you're not, right? That I can't do this. But if you try to question that and ask the 5 whys, ask why, who told you, coming to know the version of that truth, you'll find out that you are just self-sabotaging yourself. You are preventing yourself to move to the next stage. You're preventing yourself to live your life fully. You are the person building a wall, preventing yourself from accessing opportunities. That is self-sabotage. While self-mastery is you know yourself, you know that you're worthy, and you know what you bring to the table in terms of your work. And you know that, you know, the sky is just, but, you know, the starting point for you, because you can gas up yourself instead of gaslighting yourself. I think I just needed to put more emphasis on that, because it's really, you are always the person who's holding you back, if I may. Procrastination, it's a big one, right? And there are different strategies. I can't tell you for sure that this is the only way to sort out procrastination. But for me, I think when you start prioritizing your priorities, then you'll be able to fight self-sabotage in terms of, these are the priorities. You have a list that these are the priorities. This is what, you know, should be done, not procrastination. Yeah. So these are my priorities. Then now you prioritize your priorities from that, not only looking at priorities, but now you already have the 6 priorities that you have. Then now you prioritize them in terms of level of importance. Another thing that you can do is choose what works for you. For me, to fight that procrastination, I decided to use sticky notes. I could stick the important things that needed to be done, you know, on walls, on my desk, on my laptop, that this will be done by this and this at this time. So if sticky notes works for you, well, so be it. If reminders and timers, because again, we are in the tech age, right? So we have phones, and the reminder are there for a reason. And the alarms are there for a reason, to remind you that you're supposed to be something. So you can have notes on pop-up on your lock screen, and you're always looking at them, that this needs to be done. So you can use reminders. Another thing that you can do, those are just, you know, pointers, or some of the things that can work for you, but they're not sorting out the issue, right? This is for people who've been trying to sort out the issue. But another thing that can work for you, before I forget, is I think that thought is just lost. So, but the in thing, the ground is working on that. You know, these are just the, you know, the roots, the fruits, and just trying to prune here and there. But find out what is the root cause for that. Why are you procrastinating? You can do that in terms of personal development, in therapy, and work on that. Imagine you can go, Coach Mary will tell you, that can be a whole kind of up to 15 sessions just trying to work on this procrastination, because you could find that there could be other underlying issues. And I think that was so go look for a professional, talk to someone, tell them that this problem has been doing this. They'll ask you, what is it preventing you from doing? How is it preventing you from living holy? What are some of the things that it's costing you? What is the pain that it is costing you, right? And when you are able, because many things that we do, or many changes that we realize, or many transformations that we achieve, we take them from our place of pain, from a place of being tired of living life the same way, and from a point of taking action. Because life is about taking action. Life is about people who take action, and the people who get opportunities in life. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna sit there and continue procrastinating, continue crying about it, continue doing the same things that you've been doing and moving in cycles, not sorting it out? Or are you gonna find help? So you need to find help also, and help is here. There are many people here in this call that, you know, work and or have worked with Marianne before, who may be able to help, and they could even type in the chat, somebody who works with people in terms of personal development and somebody who has a niche in procrastination. These people are there. So not only use these strategies that I've talked about, but also find help, work on it, work with someone, let them hold you accountable, because a coach, a psychotherapist, a therapist, or any level of that, it's not only about, problems, it's not only about heartbreaks, it's only about when you're sick, but it's also about when you are well and you want to be even more well, you want to grow, you need, somebody to be your accountability partner and somebody to walk the talk with you. And that thing that I was forgetting, I've remembered it. Find out why those goals, find out why that thing that you're procrastinating, find out the meaning that it has in your life. Because when you find out the meaning, then you'll know if it is really important. And if it is really important, you'll not procrastinate it. Thank you.
Maybe I
Find
can add
your why.
something.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that there's one other thing I found also contributes to procrastination, which is perfectionism. So as ironical as that might sound, sometimes we tend to procrastinate if you have perfectionist tendencies because you want to wait until things are a certain way for you to embark on the project. Let me give a random example. You want to start a YouTube channel, let's say, and you'd say, until the day I get these lights, I get this very expensive, amazing microphone, whatever it is when you'll start. Yet you can just as simply start with your phone. But because you have the perfectionist tendencies and you want everything to align for you to be able to start something, then you never start. And you find a month has gone by, 2 months, 1 year, and you're still saying, I'm gonna do something. You're always sharing, I'm gonna start, I'm gonna, but because you're still waiting for everything to align, which will never happen, then you tend to procrastinate.
That's so true. That's so true. And, also we talk about fear, because a lot of times you find that we procrastinate because either you have a fear of failure, fear of success as well. Some people are afraid of what comes with success, and also just the process. Getting maybe into good habits, it's not the easiest. Like deciding I'll be waking up at 4:35 to read, to work out is not so easy. So a lot of us usually just have that fear of the process, and the process is not as smooth. And when you don't have that expectation and you understand actually the process, then you can be able to prepare yourself for that. I used to struggle a lot with that procrastination, like coming up with ideas and you say, oh, tomorrow. Well, you come and realize tomorrow will never come. And also that issue of perfectionism, we usually say, I'll start when I am ready. You never will be ready. So just start the way you are and just move with that. So I can see our time is up. So I wanted us to finish, but maybe Coach Mary, you can be able to address this last question of how she said she managed to overcome low self-esteem, but failed to gain confidence when it comes to teamwork and public participation, which I think is also part of also your program. So you can address that and then just talk about your program. How can people sign up? How can people find you after this?
Okay. I feel like the question looks pretty straightforward, but it's not, because I know that whenever you are not able to, how do I say, feel confident in front of like working with teams, especially in the work environment. Like, let me give an example. It's a boardroom and you're having a meeting and everyone is participating because that's what teamwork is, giving in the ideas, and and you feel like you don't have a voice. And it's very difficult for you to just raise your hand and say, I have this point. And probably you have the most brilliant ideas that would actually help this organization or would help to solve whatever challenge that you have, or just help to charter the way forward for your organization. But it becomes very, very difficult for you to just raise your hand, because yes, you've dealt with self-esteem issues. Already there was an underlying issue, let me put it that way. So how you dealt with those self-esteem issues probably would be something we would want to discuss and find out what was bringing about that low self-esteem. Because now when it comes to other people, as much as you may feel you've dealt with the low self-esteem, it means you still feel like you don't have a voice. And that voice cannot be, said in front of people, because I'm looking at it, public participation and teamwork. Anything that has to do with other people or you being heard in front of people. So I feel like that's not something I would be able to expound here in detail, because I don't want to understand the underlying causes of your initial issue of low self-esteem. And then how now, after working on that, it's still not applying when it comes to crowds, rather public participation or teams. So feeling like you don't have a voice, maybe probably, again, that's the thing. I'll only answer from a place of speculation, which I wouldn't want to do, but let's speculate. Probably growing up, you were never given a chance, or as an adult, you've never felt like you had a chance to say anything, or if you said something, you were shut down. So of course you'll fear to speak out your opinion, or your opinions are never taken seriously. So you see, I would probably just answer it from a place of speculation. And that's why I may not really give you a solid answer. So that's me being genuine as a therapist. You can find me on Instagram as Coach Mary Mwangi. You can find me on YouTube. Nowadays, YouTube has a handle, Coach Mary Mwangi as well. But my YouTube name is Mary N. Mwangi. It's the only Mary N. Mwangi there. What other forums? Yeah, basically Instagram and YouTube. And my contact, I can type it here. It's 0720 143 999. Oh, this is a direct message to you, Marianne. Sorry.
Okay, all right. So she'll type that, and then over to you, Nguka. Maybe do you have any programs, or how do you help people there at Maisha Hub? And
okay.
What did you want to say?
Yeah, I'm saying I forgot. And I have actually have two coaching programs. The first one is Broken to Blossoming. I'm currently enrolling for season 9. It's a program that deals with healing, reinventing yourself and rediscovering yourself so that you can thrive. So we address so many of the topics that have come up today. So once you enroll for the program, I give you like a program guide and the modules. It's 6 weeks. It's group and individual therapy. So the group sessions are like what we are doing right now, where you can just share, but you can't share anything that's confidential. But during the individual sessions in the course of the 6 weeks, then now we really get in depth into doing the work. I say that's where we do the work. So it's both group and individual. Then the other program, it's launching soon. I haven't started it, but it's called Becoming Queen. It's for women, because I believe that there's a queen in each of all of us. And becoming queen is not the queen who reigns in England or something. I'm talking about queen is both a spiritual and a psychological mindset. So there are so many things that you need to do to actually embrace the mindset of seeing yourself as a queen. So there's a lot from self-awareness, breaking your limiting habits, to what kind of legacy do you want to leave it's so much, it's so long, it's 90 days. That's 3 months about. So that's also coming soon. So feel free. Right now, the program that I'm currently running is a Broken to Blossoming. So you can find me on Instagram. On Instagram, you'll find the link to my YouTube channel. It's there. My contacts, everything is there. I've posted my contact here, and feel free to reach out via WhatsApp, call, text, email. Oh, and my email address is Coach. I think everything is Coach Mary Mwangi. So it's very easy to find me anywhere. Coach Mary
Thank you.
Mwangi.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. And I really appreciate meeting all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. And I really love what you do there on Instagram and YouTube. So guys, please go and check her out. And also, the good thing is, as a psychologist, we give the free tips here and there. So if someone also takes advantage of that, they can be able to learn as well before you get ready for the paid engagements as you prepare for that. So back to you, Nguka. In conclusion, what do you offer? How can they reach you?
Very fast, my number is there 0722 32 44 95. Thank you. You've already typed it. I was gonna type it. And I was saying you can find me at Life Coach Nguka on Instagram or Facebook. You can also Google Life Coach Nguka or Google Maisha Consultancy, which is the company that I offer the businesses for consulting there. So any programs that we have a lot of programs. Maybe you can reach out and find out which works for you. We have mastermind groups, which we call the Mindosphere, where we sit with professionals. It's usually a group of 10 people. There'll be a book given that you should go through and help us grow in terms of professional development, leadership, and personal development. So you have mastermind groups. Currently, I'm doing it with health professionals in Nairobi, team of that. And we are looking to expand it to other young professionals who really want to scale up and who want to, be challenged, be in a setup, in a group of people who challenge you, because every time you come, every week we meet, we ask you, what have you done? You had this goal, so you had that goal. What have you done about it? Apart from that, I offer psychotherapy. I'm also a keynote speaker. So if you have speaking engagements in your company, feel free to reach out. And also, if you have book launches or any other corporate trainings and etc., I can train for you, or I can host your event as an MC or an event host, but it needs to be corporate, not other parties. So that said, thank you for having me, and my number is there. And see you guys on other, adventures of life. I'm also a biker. I go for a lot of adventures. As I'm talking about adventures. Thank you, Marianne.
You should have mentioned that when I said something interesting. You're biking, that's so cool. Yeah, we are going to share more details on that. So maybe I had shared previously a link to a group where I'll be sharing also the recording. I also have a YouTube channel where I post about mental health issues, and also I post the recordings of this so you can be able to access them. So I've put the link again so that you can also find us. The coaches are also there in case you missed out on more information. We will be able to share it. And also, yeah. So I've shared my number as well. So we are going to end the meeting there. I know we can talk a lot, but time is not on our side. We have more monthly webinars. Every month we have a different topic. So maybe you can be able to join us in that group and you'll be updated on the same. I also have a therapy private practice where I offer individual therapy. Mostly I deal with teens and young people, and I focus a lot on childhood trauma, and my tagline is from survival to thriving, because a lot of times we're just surviving due to the things that have happened to us in the past. So you can be able to do that as well. Maybe you can contact me. And also I am a mental health advocate. I do a lot of advocacy on social media, so you can find me there as well. If Therapist Marianne everywhere you will find me, and also my YouTube channel. So that is all that we have for you today. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. We can see a lot of people left, but for the ones who made it to the end, thank you so, so much. And I wish you all a good night and a great month ahead, because we will be seeing each other next month.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
Carrie.
guys.
Bye.